My alarm sounds, waking me up. I turn it off and prepare for the day. After a quick breakfast, I drive to school and head to class.
Good morning, everyone. I have some good news. Because so many of you did well on the pop quiz from last week, we're going to have another one.
A chorus of groans circles around the classroom.
I knew you'd all be excited.
Everyone gradually falls silent as the TA hands out one of the quizzes. I breeze through the last quiz, and I'll breathe through this one too. Once the paper lands on my desk, I scribble in the correct answers. This material is all stuff I've learned or already learned. After a few minutes, I turn in my completed test to the professor.
Done already? You still have plenty of time if you want to check your work.
Yep, it's been checked. The professor glances skeptically at my paper, then does a double take as he recognizes my name.
Oh, you're the student who got perfect marks on the last quiz.
I nod. He offers me a smile.
Thank you.
Soon everyone has turned in their paper.
Everyone awake now? Good. In today's lesson, class dismissed.
I gather my things and file out of the classroom with everyone else. Once I'm outside, my legs take me towards the hangar. I need to practice. My chat with Akira last Monday has been on my mind ever since. Our team has been on a really good streak, but we are strong enough to beat. Are we strong enough to beat Akira's team? I swipe myself into the hangar and shake my head free of these thoughts. We have to beat Una Bugeisha first. I pass Aura my way to Eagle and hear voices raised in a heated argument. Kaori glances at Mei, who looks exasperated.
I always have your best interests at heart. That's not true! When have I not? Have you already forgotten about what happened with Ryota?
Mei looks taken aback.
Really? You're bringing that up? How was I supposed to know he'd react that way? You weren't supposed to tell him at all! Maybe not, but I was trying to help.
Kaori's face contorts in anger.
I was humiliated in front of the entire school! Is that what you call helping? That's not fair. You know that wasn't my intention. And how Ryota handled the situation. Best friends don't treat each other like that. I know.
Mei falters at Kaori's piercing stare.
Kaori. Well, none of that would have happened in the first place if you had just kept my secret a secret. It was all your fault.
Mei blinks rapidly.
I can't talk to you when you're like this. You need some time to calm down. Maybe then you'll listen to reason. Don't you dare!
Mei spins on her heels and walks away, her footsteps echoing behind her.
Meg! Ugh!
Kaori lets out a scream of frustration into her hands. As she turns around, she notices me.
How long have you been there?
Long enough to enjoy the show. So, let me see if I got this right. Mei told some big secret of yours to this Ryota guy who humiliated you in front of the whole school? Kaori's eye widen. Then she crosses her arms.
Why were you eavesdropping?
I don't think it counts as eavesdropping when you're shouting louder than all of the mechanical wiring in here.
Well, you still shouldn't have listened.
So what was that about anyway?
It was nothing.
Who's Ryota?
Nobody you know.
Does he go here?
No.
So who is he then?
He is none of your business. Besides, you've already heard all about it when you were listening in on a private conversation.
No, that's not. My phone buzzes. Saved by the bell. Well, buzz I guess. Sorry, I better get this. Kaori nods. He looks just as relieved as I am. I accept the call and walk further away from Kaori. Hello?
Hey!
Hi Yuna.
I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time.
No, this is perfect.
Okay, so your account manager with Dashu reached out to me. He'll be close to campus later today and would like to meet with you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what everyone's schedules look like.
Wait, he wants to meet with just you.
Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong?
No, not at all. He has some questions about your gear.
Why? What's wrong with Eagle?
Nothing. He's impressed by it. He wants to know how your outdated American gear is able to outperform even the newest Japanese models.
Outdated?
Not in a bad way. It's just not new. So, will you meet him?
Sure.
Great! You can meet him at the cafe after lunch.
Alright, I'll be there. Thanks, Yuna.
No problem.
After saying goodbye, she hangs up. By the time I end the call, Kaori's nowhere in sight. That's probably for the best, honestly. Our chat didn't end on such a great note. Since I came here to practice, I climb into Eagle and start up a simulated match. After I've practiced a few rounds, I shut down the simulators and climb out of Eagle. I can tell my reaction times are improving. I'm sure with a little more practice I'll be ready to face Una Bugeisha. Since I have some extra time, how do I want to spend the rest of my afternoon? With Mayu, of course. I receive an incoming call from Mayu. Oh, what a great coincidence. Hey Mayu.
Hi. I hope you don't think this is weird, but would you want to go to the comic book store with me?
Oh, is there one on campus?
No, it's in town. My next class was canceled, so I'm done for the day. Do you have class?
No, I'm done too. She seems relieved.
Great! I pre-ordered the new series of Boundless Stratus, and it's ready for pickup. I don't like going alone because the guys there are, a bit overbearing. They're always trying to chat, and they keep asking me to play games and stuff. But it feels weird. Sho's not into comics, and he also thinks I'm overreacting. I would just feel more comfortable having you there with me.
Sure, I'll go with you. How are you planning to get there?
By bus.
I can drive us.
Are you sure? I don't want to be any trouble.
It's no trouble. How about I meet you at your dorm and we can go together?
Okay, see you soon.
We hang up and I head to the dorm. After I pick her up, I drive us to the comic book store in town. When we arrive, Mayu hesitates before she hops off my bike. You okay?
Yeah.
She takes a deep breath, then gives me a nod. I follow her into the stair. As soon as we walk in, my mouth falls agape in wonder. Every staff member in the store is beyond attractive. Is that a prerequisite to working here? As I continue to look around, the patrons are all on the same level as the staff. The women have beautiful smiles and shapely curves which turn into legs that go on for days. They smile at me as we walk past. The men are all tall with broad shoulders, and I can see the faint outlines of muscle underneath their shirts. I'm not in bad shape, but I still feel a little out of place. I wish I'd spent some more time on my training. What is this place? Mayu doesn't even pause and heads straight to the counter. When we walk past, staff members greet us, but Mayu keeps her head down and refuses to make eye contact. As we approach the counter, an equally attractive and friendly man greets us.
Good to see you again, Mayu. Is there anything I can help you with?
Hi, I got an email saying my pre-order for Boundless Stratus has arrived.
I don't think we had any copies yet, but I'll double check in the back stockroom for you. In the meantime, you and your friend should have a look around.
After flashing us a handsome smile, he heads into the back room.
Do you want to take a look at their manga?
Yeah, sounds good. Mayu leads me through the section I browse the titles. Are you a big manga fan?
I read some.
A title catches my eye, and I enthusiastically grab the book off the shelf. Oh, hey, I remember this. Did you ever read this one? I hold the book out to Mayu while she examines the cover. She furrows her brows and slowly shakes her head.
No.
Really? It was super popular when we were in middle school. At least it was in the States.
What's it about?
The main character and his family had to return home to take care of a sick grandfather, who passes on a protective charm for the main character. At his first day in his new high school, he gets into a fight and accidentally activates the charm, which turns out to be a cat spirit demon girl. Once activated, the cat girl swears to protect the main character and disguises herself as another student at his school. This causes all sorts of hilarious scenarios between her and the other girl in his class.
That doesn't sound very familiar.
I shrug. It's really silly, but it was fun at the time.
Which character was your favorite?
The shy girl. I always liked the quiet girl. She's really nice and understanding, and she's so cute when she gets embarrassed. Mayu grins and her cheeks turn pink.
I think I would like her too.
Anyway, I can't believe they still have it. I put the book back on the shelf. What else do you read besides Boundless Stratus?
Oh, I like Evangelion and Gundam too.
I'm beginning to see a trend here. She blinks.
What do you mean?
Well, all of these mangas you mentioned have giant robot battles. Mayu's cheeks tinge pink.
I mean, I do come from a long line of pilots. It's only natural that I gravitate towards those type of manga too.
You haven't read any other types?
No. Father wasn't very fond of manga to begin with. The only reason he let me read the ones I did was because they were sort of relevant to my studies.
Her voice lowers to a mumble.
And because he didn't know about most of them.
She stares at the ground and shuffles her feet when she catches my grin. Who knew Mayu had a rebellious side? Let's find a manga that you'd like. That's not gear related.
Okay.
As we both pursue the shelves, one of the gorgeous men nearby politely greets us.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear you're looking for a new manga. My sister just finished this one, and she loved it.
He hands Mayu a book with a girl and a flute.
Maybe you'd like it.
Mayu shifts from one foot to the other. Thanks, man, that's really nice of you.
Thanks.
No problem.
Another man interjects.
I highly recommend that one too. Although there are some parts later on that deal with some heavy subjects.
That's true.
If you want something more lighthearted, you might want to check out that author's second title.
The third man joins in the conversation.
Oh, I've read that one. You're talking about The Boy and Alien Pet, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
That one is really funny. The two of them get into all sorts of shenanigans.
Huh, I'll have to check that out too.
Mayu stares helplessly at the crowd, surrounding her as they continue to chat. I gently pull her aside and point to the book still clutched tightly in her hand. So what do you think? She takes a deep breath to relax, then scans the synopsis.
It's about a girl who lands her dream role as the solo flutist in a symphony. But when her mother gets sick, she has to decide between her family and her passion. Actually, I think this would be very interesting.
I grin. Mission accomplished. The man who originally suggested the title notices Mayu's interest in the book.
I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks.
We part from the group, who are still deep in discussion. Mayu breathes a sigh of relief.
I'm glad you came with me.
Hmm?
Didn't you see what happened back there? That happens all the time.
That's what Mayu meant by overbearing? They seemed like really cool guys to me. At least you got a new book out of it. She smiles at the title in her hands.
True.
After selecting a couple of titles for myself, I glance at Mayu. Let's go check on your pre-order. He nods happily. We head to the counter where the clerk is waiting for us.
Here is your pre-order.
Thanks.
I place the books I picked up on the counter and head over my cart. I'd like to check these out, please.
Oh yeah.
I think she'd forgotten about the manga in her hand. She puts it on the counter. I think she would not like it if we pay for it. I pay for my purchases and Mayu pays for her manga. As we head towards the door, Mayu bumps into someone.
I'm sorry.
looks up in surprise.
May,
Hi, guys!
I didn't know you'd like to read manga.
Oh, yeah. It's a secret pleasure of mine.
really?
May grins appreciatively as one of the men walks past. So that's what she means by secret pleasure. At least I'm not the only one who sees this. Mayu furrows her brow.
View? It's inside a mall plaza.
Mayu raises an eyebrow. I understand her look all too well. How is Mayu not seeing this?
Anyway, I've got some things to check out, so I'll see you later.
She heads deeper into the shop while Mayu and I walk outside. Ready to head back? She nods. We hop on my bike and I drive us back to campus.
Thanks for taking me to the comic book store.
Thanks for introducing me to it. Now I know where to go to catch up on my series. He smiles.
I'm really happy you like to read manga too. Sho doesn't really care for it.
You think he'd like it more since there are pictures. Mayu giggles.
Be nice. Anyway, father will be here soon, and I still have to clean.
I clean, do you mind hide your new books? He blushes.
It would be best if he didn't know. Anyway, I'll see you later.
I wave goodbye and watch her disappear into her dorm. I make my way towards the cafe to meet with our account manager from Dashu. I try to anticipate what kind of question he'll ask about Eagle so I can have answers ready. Yuna said this wasn't an interview, but I still want to make a good impression. As I enter the cafe, I sweep my gaze across the room and spot a man wearing a Dashu jacket. Must be him. After ordering a cup of coffee, I walk over to greet him. Hello. The man faces me and I'm surprised by how young he looks. He only seems to be a couple of years older than us. I'm KiteCat, pilot for Eagle from ACE 2049-11. He smiles and gestures to the seat across from him. I accept the seat.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. As I'm sure you know, I'm Yuri Ariev, your account manager with Dashu.
The waitress places our drinks on the table. He takes a sip from his drink and seems pleasantly surprised. That must be some good coffee.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am curious about a few things.
About Eagle?
Eagle?
He looks genuinely confused. I guess my intel was incorrect.
No, about Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive? That was a team I played for at CNY. Looks like Yuri did his homework on me. You want to know all the secrets, huh? He laughs.
Not exactly. I am more interested about the team and sponsorship dynamics in the West. I've researched that companies have official teams in the school rather than just sponsoring a different team from time to time.
Why not? That's right.
Hyperdrive is an S-ranked division team at CINY. That's quite the accomplishment. I can see why you transferred into ACE with a history like that.
I'm a natural. Really? It was pretty easy to be honest. Yuri grins.
Very confident. Interesting. What were your teammates like?
Hyperdrive had about 20 pilots on the team. I didn't know all of them well, but I made a few friends. Yuri takes another sip from his coffee.
Ah yes, I've heard the official company teams tend to recruit purely from an efficiency and winning standpoint. There's even internal competition within the team to see who are the strongest pilots.
And not.
Which means your solo rank must have been strong if you were the primary backup after the starting four.
Yeah. Although I can't say everyone was pleased with the first year being a primary backup. Yuri chuckles.
I take it the more senior members of the team weren't pleased.
Yep. Because of that, most of the people I considered to be close were other first years. But some of the seniors who were already on the starting lineup would help me train.
Sounds like there was a very split dynamic among the team, which is not surprising given how large it is. It's hard to foster close camaraderie when everyone competes for the same spots.
There were definitely a lot of cliques that formed within the group. I tried to stay away from any drama and was just focused on bringing up my rank.
How well do you think that model works compared to the model here?
I pause. The pressures are different. but I do believe smaller teams make more efficient teams. You're more invested in your personal training and development, not because there's a looming pressure that someone is just a number away from replacing you, but because you're an important member of your team. And of course, you end up fostering closer relationship with your teammates. But the whole sponsorship process here is incredibly imbalanced. Yuri nods understandingly. Honestly, I'm grateful that you agreed to sponsor us. We were rejected a few times before, and Yuna was really disappointed by how unwilling most companies were to consider us.
Your team at Ace is a little unique. Even though you guys are an S-ranked division team, because you're a new team with no history of performance, you're also considered high risk.
High risk?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge whether your team is a strong up-and-comer or if your entry into this division was a fluke. Most companies don't like that uncertainty.
If that's the case, how come you decided to take that risk? He grins.
I know good talent when I see it. If I had been too afraid to take risks, I never would have landed Yudai. When I signed him on, he was a new pilot, but already showed so much potential.
He looks wistful.
What happened to him was tragic. The least I could do is to help his sister, especially after seeing how his death affected her.
And wait, what happened?
You don't know?
He falters.
You should probably talk to Yuna.
Oh, sure. An uncomfortable silence settles, while we both sip at our drinks. Once he downs the last of his coffee, he checks his phone, then smiles politely.
I have to run to another meeting. Thanks again for stopping in to chat with me, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Thanks. It was nice to meet you. I say my goodbye and take another sip of my drink as I watch him leave. What happened to Yuna's brother? How come she never mentioned him to me? Questions race through my mind, but I clear them away as I finish my drink. I shouldn't drive myself crazy thinking about questions I don't have the answer to. Next time I see Yuna, I'll ask. In the meantime, I still have time before I should go home. What should I do to clear my mind? Let's meet with Valerie. I've been slacking a little on my training and I feel myself falling slightly behind in physical education. I need to be in peak condition for a match this week, so it's time to hit the gym. When I arrive at the rec center, I head straight to the lockers to change. Afterwards, I walk towards the main gym but decide to go around the back entrance. It's closer to the weight section so I don't have to weave through the cardio equipment. As I follow the new road, I walk past the rec center's group classrooms. There are no classes scheduled at this time, so I'm surprised to see a familiar lone figure pummeling a freestanding punching bag. Valerie? She pauses, and her hair whips across her face as she turns towards the sound of my voice.
Oh, it's you.
Glad to see you too. Instead of biting back with her usual witty retort, Valerie refocused on the punching bag and throws another jab. I've never seen her like this before. With her fierce skull and that murderous look in her eyes, it kind of reminds me of Kaori. Jeez, what did that thing ever do to you?
It's what it didn't do.
She strikes the bag with a powerful roundhouse. The bag wobbles from the force. Whoa! There's no way this tiny girl can pack that much power with many years of training under her belt. Remind me not to get on your bad side. Just then, a soft melody fills the room. Valerie glances at her gym bag, which was tossed to her side of the room, and her frown returns. Instead of answering the phone call, she resumes her fighting stance in front of the punching bag and aims a hard punch. Aren't you going to get that?
Why? So she can disappoint me all over again.
Finishes her question with a yell and another punch. Her hair sticks to her face and neck, and her skin glistens with a layer of sweat. The cold seems to have riled her up even more and she's getting sloppy with her movements. Valerie, are you okay? Punch.
What does it look like?
Kick. It looks like you should tell me what's bothering you. Prepares for another kick when I stop her. Valerie. She grits her teeth, but after a moment, she lets her hands drop to her sides.
It's my mom.
What about her?
She's breaking her promises. Again.
He accentuates the last word with an angry punch.
This weekend was supposed to be our weekend. She promised she'd fly out and come visit me for the first time since I started here at Ace. But of course, that's not gonna happen anymore.
I'm taken aback by the bitterness in her voice. Why not?
Because apparently her new boyfriend is more important than her own daughter.
She vents her frustration with a formidable sidekick, wobbling the punching bag once more. I'm sure that's not.
It's true. She called me earlier today to tell me she can't make it because shitty Matthew surprised her with a romantic getaway for the weekend.
Didn't she tell him about her plans with you?
Yes? I don't know. All I understood was that he had already made all the arrangements and bookings, and it was all so romantic that she couldn't say no. And the best part is when she told me, "Ma belle, why are you getting so worked up? I can see you at any time."
Any time? In Japan?
Yup.
I'm dumbfounded. No wonder she's so angry. She's missing out. It's her loss. Valerie looks curiously at me. She's missing out on the chance to see her daughter, who's not only in one of the top university programs for robotics, but also a kick-ass engineer. A broad grin spreads across Valerie's face.
I had no idea that's what you thought of me.
You were just fishing for compliments, weren't you? He laughs. Valerie seems to be in a better spirit at least. Once she catches her breath, she sighs in resignation.
This is just how she is, and I hate that after all these years I still believe that she'll be different. That this time she really will follow through with her promises. I mean, I had planned a whole day of fun things for us to do when she got here, and I'm disappointed that won't be happening now.
It'll still happen. I'll do it with you. She blinks, clearly surprised.
But you don't even know what I have planned.
It doesn't matter. If I'm hanging out with you, I know I'll have a good time. She stares at me again with that strange look of disbelief. Then slowly her face melts into a bright smile. She flings her arms around my neck and hugs me tight.
Thank you.
She's hugging me. She beams at me as she pulls away. Her faint perfume of wild flowers lingers on my body even after she lets go. I can still feel the heat of her skin spreading up my cheek and to my face. Maybe that's the heat of my blush. No problem. Valerie giggles.
Are you blushing?
No. The burn in my is undeniable. Well, maybe. Okay, yes. She continues to look at me with amusement. I need to change the subject. Scanning the room, my gaze falls onto her forgotten punching bag. Why don't you give that punching bag a rest and practice with me? She smirks.
No. Well, maybe. Okay, yes.
Very funny. Valerie grins and playfully punches my arm in response. Hey! She chuckles.
Step 1 is to teach you how to block.
I find some extra pads lying around and join Valerie in her practice session. We spend the rest of the evening together until we both have to leave the room for a scheduled group class. As I enter the house, I hear soft giggles coming from the living room. A tuft of blonde hair peeks over the couch. Another wave of giggles floats from the couch, but cease abruptly as I step closer. Nikki hangs up the phone and turns around to greet me.
Hi, big bro.
I plop down next to her. Who was that guy? Her eyes go wide.
How did you know it was a guy?
I didn't, but I do now. He paused.
That's tricky.
So who was it?
No one.
Doesn't sound like no one.
He's just a classmate.
I reach around and grab Nikki's phone while she's distracted.
No, give it back!
She screams in my ear as she leaps over me, reaching towards her phone. I fend her off and keep the phone away from her grasping hands. As she continues to struggle, I wall my way over to the couch and flip through the call list before she can scramble to her feet. The last dialed number is to a Ken. What kind of weird Japanese name is Ken? Nikki snatches the phone right as I speak, then pummels my chest with her fins.
Oh my god, you are such a jerk!
Is he even a real person?
Of course he is!
His name is Ken.
You're the worst!
She hits me hard one last time, before turning her heel and storming upstairs. When she's halfway to the top, she pauses.
And by the way, Ken means strong in Japanese.
Nikki stomps into her room and slams the door. Oh yeah, oops. Still Ken. I hear laughter. Is it me? Did I just laugh out loud? Kaito is leaning against the doorway behind me, a broad smile on his face. I jump when I see him. First Akira and now Kaito. How is everyone always sneaking up on me?
That's good. Ken is a funny name. It's like Yen.
He continues laughing at his joke, then gradually calms down.
Why does your face look like that?
Like what? I always look like this.
No, like this.
He mimics a look of cringing and disbelief. I don't, what? I should go do my homework.
Good idea. Get smart.
Slowly head towards the door, towards the stair, still unsure about what just happened. As I walk up the steps, I can still hear faint chuckles from Kaito and the echoes of Ken. Since I was already in my room, I caught up on studying until it was time for sleep.